This is how two former fatties healed their guts.
I don't think of myself as a former fatty.
This is my mom.
Hi, I'm Penelope's mom.
We noticed that 96.9% of you guys are not subscribed, and 3.2% are. So to the 3.2% that are, we love you.
For the 96.9% of you who are unsubscribed, we would love it if you would join us in this very, very meaningful conversation. That is our mission and our life's work.
All right, number one, my mom drank some sauerkraut juice yesterday because that's super good for your gut. So is kefirs, but not the ones with sugar in them, although those probably taste better. I like to add stevia to my plain kefirs.
So I've been studying nutrition for over 30 years. She doesn't like it. So the top tip that we can share that doesn't involve expensive probiotics or any other fancy treatments like fecal implants and whatnot is fermented foods. It's something that cultures throughout time have been using for thousands of years in absolutely every single culture. Fermented foods, what does that mean? That means, of course, like yogurt without sugar. That means kefir, which you may or may not know about. Definitely check it out.
Only organic, by the way.
Best if it's organic. You can even get vegan versions made with coconut.
And you can make your own, right?
Yeah, you can even do ones that are made with kefir water. I'm not a big fan of kombucha. I know a lot of people think that kombucha is really good for you. There's a lot of added sugar to that, and it's not, if it's sweet at all to the taste, it's definitely not been eaten by the bacteria.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't recommend kombucha. I don't drink kombucha, but you know what? I'd love to hear in the comments, like if you guys have healed your gut with kombucha. The strain just didn't really work that well for me. Now, I was on antibiotics most of my childhood, so I really felt like my gut was decimated. How did I know that? I had chronic acne, I had gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, I had irritable bowel syndrome, and nothing I did seemed to work. So it's taken me years and years and years to figure out these hacks. And eating fermented foods, the one that we eat the most, which Penelope's just recently liked, is
Sauerkraut.
yeah, sauerkraut, right? And it's not the one with vinegar and sugar. It's just sea salt. That's the only ingredient that you'll find on a good one. Best to make it yourself if you want to keep it low cost. But we've been loving the kimchi and the regular sauerkraut, but you can get all kinds of fancy sauerkrauts these days.
I wanted to ask you, Mom, why is meditation good for healing the gut microbiome?
That's a really good question. So meditation is known to affect the nervous system. There are a lot of reasons, but the nervous system controls a lot of the biomechanical processes in our bodies. And so when we have a calmer state, our gut can relax and it can heal a little better. There's also more oxygen usually moving when you're meditating because you're doing some breathing exercises. And because of that, you have more transportation of oxygen, which means everything can work better. When you have a calm mind, which normally occurs post-meditation, you have a higher immune response, which means that your body can repair itself more easily. So if you have an impaired gut from eating chemicals, herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, genetically modified food organisms, a high level of glyphosate, toxicity from your environment, you're going to have a lot of repair work that your liver and your large intestine need to do. And so meditation can kind of help everything just calm down a bit. It releases all the gripping, not all, but some of the gripping, and then it helps the body to heal itself naturally. There's also all of this research on the vagus nerve specifically, and how when the vagus nerve is working more in balance and is activated, then it sends blood and energy to the gut microbiome.
Didn't we just learn, actually, that if you gargle water until your eye drips with water, that it also activates the vagus nerve?
We cannot recommend anything we haven't tried yet, but we did hear about that. But no, I'm honestly, like, I never talk about things that I don't know about. And I'm always really honest about
But they tried
stuff.
it.
I don't know if they did or not. So I don't feel comfortable
they
talking
did. They
about
did
it.
try that too.
Yeah, I trust that person implicitly, but
They said they tried it, and they did.
I can't talk to an audience about something that I've never tried. But yes, we've heard about it.
Fiber.
So recent research shows us that not all fiber is created equally. We used to think, at least when I was growing up, that you had to get like 25 grams of fiber a day, and people were drinking the fiber drinks, and they were like taking fiber pills, and it was like all the rage, right? Front cover of Reader's Digest. You probably don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
But 30 different kinds of fiber is what they proved was necessary to rebuild a healthy gut microbiome. So again, you don't need fecal implants or fancy expensive probiotics. You really need a variety of fiber. Isn't it amazing how nature just designed itself to heal itself? So you don't need Ozempic. You can heal your body naturally.
Controversial.
There is a lot of controversy around the logic between, okay, if I've got potential gut paralysis as a side effect of Ozempic, if I've got potential stomach blockages, if I've got slower transit time, this is compromising my gut microbiome. I have spent so many years, so many decades rebuilding my gut microbiome. To take a drug, as desperate as you may be, that could impair it further, and a year later, research has just come out, a year later after taking Ozempic, you are still having those side effects after you've stopped taking the medication. Folks, this is serious. You should really reconsider. But 30 different kinds of fiber may seem like a lot, and we get it in. It's amazing. You just have to go to the grocery store and like really take a variety of vegetables and buy a variety of vegetables. Like if you're just eating romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce, you probably want to maybe switch it up. Maybe green leaf lettuce this week or red leaf lettuce, or get one of those salad mixes, or maybe arugula or dandelion or some other thing. We use a lot in our colossal salad mix.
Oh yeah, and we've got videos on the colossal salad mix, and the one you made just yesterday was so good. She put jicama and carrots and purple lettuce, and I was gonna say blue lettuce. I don't think that's a thing.
I think it's the jalapenos and the roasted poblanos that are making it like really special.
I would definitely agree. And the red onion really makes it amazing.
And the sprouts,
And the
microgreens.
sprouts.
Yeah.
Not everyone has access to all these things, which we totally understand.
Yeah.
But there's never an excuse for not prioritizing your health and going to the store and looking at some of the vegetables that maybe you never looked at before. When I was on my weight loss journey, I would go to the store and look at the vegetables and be like, what the heck am I going to do with that? You know?
Yeah, you do that.
Oh.
You still do that.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. So
Yeah. Yeah. And hit us up. I mean, hit us up for some ideas. Like take a picture of it and maybe, I don't know, can you do that on Instagram?
on Instagram, you can take a picture of it and send it to us. But I would
Yeah.
just text us like, hey, what the heck do I do with all the green long leaves or whatever? We'll be like, oh, that might be Swiss chard or blah, blah,
I'd
blah.
love to answer your questions. So please comment below if you're like curious, like what does that mean? 30 different kinds of fiber. And I can just really clearly, like cauliflower is different than broccoli. Even though they're both from the cruciferous family, they have different types of fiber and they both count because guess what? When you eat the fiber that's in the vegetables and fruits, it gets digested and good microbes, good bacteria, good guys start to grow. And then your body wants more of that. And then more goodness starts to grow. And it's a cascade effect. If you can be consistent and find ways to make vegetables and fruits that you love and get them more and more into your diet, you will rebuild your gut microbiome like we did. Another thing that you and I did was we really focused on detoxification. So when you were eating all that junk food, your gut was getting a lot of genetically modified foods. It was getting a lot of herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, a lot of chemicals, yellow food coloring, foods that you can't pronounce, fillers. There was a lot of junk. And, when you think about, like, let's say you stuff a bunch of food like that, in a pantyhose, like in socks, what would happen? Like it would start to decompose and then you try to wash it, but like you couldn't wash it out very easily.
That's gross.
It's just super disgusting, but that's what's happening inside our bodies. There was this book I read about 25 years ago called The Composting of the Western Nation. It actually was a chapter in a different book that was like 700 pages. And I never really could wrap my mind around that, but wrap your minds around this. Everything you're eating is going into your body and fermenting, and it's creating like a soup. And that soup is either a toxic soup or it's a non-toxic soup. And you had a pretty seriously toxic soup, and your body got backed up. And that's why you put the weight on, because it just couldn't handle the onslaught of chemicals and calories and crap that you were putting into your body. At 320 pounds, you were like, no,
The sound effect you made?
well, but it's true. And so we really focused on detox, and it was really slow and it was really safe. But detoxification of the large intestine is really important while you're on a weight loss journey. So we used a number of different tools and methods and techniques and supplements to do that. But I think in this video, what we've talked about, right, the fiber and the fermented foods were really a big part of that detoxification. But also buying organic food and stopping the toxic soup. So we made priorities around what kinds of foods we were going to purchase that you were going to put into your body. So we could slowly change the soup, slowly change that liquid that's in your large intestine.
So why is exercise good for the gut microbiome?
Some people might not correlate that healing the gut and exercise are closely connected. And we talk about this in one of the free bonus programs you get when you join our program. And we go into it in a lot more detail. But a short answer is that you're increasing the oxygen transportation. So you're helping to fuel energy towards your gut microbiome, and then its efficiency in developing short chain fatty acids is optimized. So that's one little thing. I don't know if that's interesting or if that makes sense. There's a lot of things that happen inside of that. But just think about this, like you're increasing your circulation. So you're increasing your respiration, you're breathing faster, right? So blood is moving, right? So it's helping your gut to do its work. Just by the fact that you're moving your body, you're helping to move all of those folds. I mean, your gut is really long and big, like if you were to take it out of your body. And then all those folds, they kind of get, if you're sedentary, it doesn't move. So you're helping to detox your body, you're helping to allow it to move, and you're fueling it with the blood and oxygen that it needs. So that's like a kind of a overly simplistic answer for that. How do you know you need to heal your gut? Well, you know if you have like a lot of flatulence, bloating, gas, which is flatulence, if you've got like a swollen abdomen, if you've got chronic constipation, inflammation, if you've got difficulty with diarrhea, frequent bouts of diarrhea, you know that you need to heal your gut. And I would say that a lot of people are experiencing these kinds of issues. And I hope that you'll listen to this video because there are some really simple and easy things that you can do to heal your gut.
Comment down below if you've ever tried kombucha, and if you haven't tried kombucha, what kind of fermented food have you maybe tried? 97.3% of you are not subscribed, so we're going to change that today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all the time.